talk about schools. You got kids. Transgender guidance for schools needed now, says Children's Commissioner. Now, the Children's Commissioner, Dame Rachel de Souza, says teachers are crying out for a consistent approach over whether or not youngsters are allowed to transition. I mean, Rishi Sunak said, you know, that kids won't be allowed to just turn up and say, I'm an opposite gender, or in one case, I'm identifying as a mushroom and all that. The teachers have got to stop pandering to all of this. And of course, then there was the usual outcry, and now he's sort of U-turned on this. But we do need some serious guidance on this, and I certainly think that schools and teachers need to be much more circumspect about how much they indulge these kids who turn up and say, I think I'm a girl, I think I'm a man, I want to identify as a mushroom or a fox or whatever. These teachers are terrified of the outcry if they don't, but they do need some government guidance, in my view, in order to be able to say to these kids, stop it, you're only 12, now do your maths.
Absolutely, and the thing is, this is rampant in our schools at the moment for teenagers, particularly teenage girls. This has gone through the roof. I've had daughters.
Yes, I think it's over the past 2 years, the number of kids saying that they believe they're in the wrong gender, that they've got gender dysmorphia, has gone up by 3,000%.
Exactly.
And of course, the trans community say, well, that's because the environment allows them to do that. Now, I don't think so. No. I think they read it in the papers, they see it on the telly, and it becomes a thing.
Absolutely, and it is rampant amongst teenage girls particularly, and this is going on, you know, in all corners of the internet as well. This is really being pushed as an agenda by people who are kind of, it's like a craze, and as flippant as that sounds, I don't mean it to sound flippant, it is, you know, young teenage girls are very impressionable about what their peers are doing and what they're saying and all of those kinds of things. So it's actually really difficult for parents as well, for parents to turn around and say, no, I'm not going to let you go along with this, because they're being told online that, you know, if your parents don't agree with it, they're homophobic, they're transphobic, they're all of these things. So it's driving a wedge between kids and their parents. So yes, certainly in our education settings, there should be, you know, the line in the sand to say, look, this is where we get real. This is where this stops, you know. And what's the research to show that the number of people who start socially transitioning at school, how many of them then go on, and then how many of them then detransition, having caused themselves huge life-changing problems? Well,
a friend of mine, whose son turned up at school, says he's a woman. He said, little so-and-so, he's just doing it for a laugh. And, you know, that's happening. Kids are just doing it to mess the teachers around. So something needs to happen. And this is what you get out of Downing Street last week. Official statement from Downing Street. No decisions have been taken. Rishi Sunak added, more information is needed about the long-term implications of a child acting as though they are the opposite sex. I mean, what do you mean? Well, can this guy do just something once? You know, his indecision is final, isn't it?
Well, how do you act as the opposite sex? This is so backwards. It's like 1950s stereotypes of what a boy is or what a girl is. So because she likes sport, oh well, therefore she must be a boy. You know, what does he mean, acting like a boy or acting like a... It's regressive. It's, you know, it's backwards. You know,
it certainly is. And Gillian Keegan, the Education Secretary, said that schools should always involve parents in the decisions relating to their children. I mean, that much I think is true. I think we might be edging towards that, because not so long ago, I think you and I discussed it, this extraordinary situation where schools took it upon themselves to help kids transition without telling their parents.
Awful. Yeah. Absolutely awful. I mean, there's no way that the school should be getting involved in that level without parents' approval, you know, to say that you know better than the parents of these children what's right for them. And these are life-changing decisions, because when you start socially transitioning, then there is this sort of a momentum, a cascade of intervention where they're going to end up, you know, they're going to end up having a double mastectomy, they're going to end up having to take hormones for the rest of their lives, and then down the line they may change their mind, but they are stuck with this sort of body that doesn't fully function.
I know. And the question here, folks, and please give me a call, let me know what you think about this. The question is who raises children? Is it the state or is it parents? I mean, I know what I think. but the state, a lot of teachers believe the state should bring up children because, you know, parents can't be trusted because they're kind of Neanderthals and they don't understand trans issues, you know, like people in government. So, like teachers and head teachers and all that. So, does the state bring up children or should parents bring up children?